Welcome to the My Brain, My Happiness podcast. My name is Joe, and on each episode, it is my goal to spread awareness on mental health. No, I'm not a therapist, a psychiatrist, or a medical doctor. I'm just a guy who has had a lifelong relationship with mental illness, specifically OCD. Together with you, I want to blow the roof off the stigma that comes with having a mental illness. You need to know you're not alone. I promise this podcast will be upbeat and positive. My goal with each episode is to make you understand that you don't have to take this on alone or in silence. Now let's change some lives. Hello friends, welcome to episode 3 of My Brain, My Happiness. And as usual, the wonderful sound of a fresh can of Diet Coke opening up for my podcast here. So, let's talk a little bit today about not taking things personally, which I tell you what, when you're struggling from mental illness, it is tough, very tough, not to take things personally, right? You could be, I don't know, let's see. For example, I'll give you an example. I have been out on TikTok trying to make videos for, I don't know, the last year or so, right? And I have only 493 or so subscribers. That's what I have. And I beat myself up, right? I was beating myself up saying, why don't people want to listen to my videos? Or watch my videos? Am I doing them wrong? Am I saying things that are uninteresting? Am I no good at this? Do people look, when my face comes up on the screen and go, oh, it's him. His videos suck. They're so boring. That's what I thought. I was taking it personally, right? Or how about if you're driving a car, you're trying to find a street and, you're driving real slow and the person behind you is honking like crazy and you start to feel bad because you're driving slow. You know you're holding the person up. You take it personally. It's tough. It's tough not to take things personally. It really is. You say you work on a project at work and you put so much effort into it. I mean, this happened to all of us. It happened in school or with our parents or whatever. We do something we're so proud of. And then all we get is criticism. It hurts. It hurts. But why do we take things personally? Why is it that when something happens to us, we take it personally? Well, basically what it comes down to, it's our ego getting in the way. We're blaming other people when it's really our ego. And so, well, how do you get it to, make it so your ego doesn't take over? Well, you know what you can do? You can say, it's not about me. Maybe stop and think, why is that person honking the horn? Maybe that person is late for work and needs to get there. Maybe they have an important meeting and me driving slow is holding them up. Maybe when I make my TikTok videos, people aren't having any mental illness issues. I mean, it's kind of a tough subject to crack on TikTok if you watch it. If you watch TikTok and you see what's popular out there, everything's, polarizing and political and, let's see how many people we can stir up. And that's not what I do. I'm out there trying to help people. And I do, I have 492 followers or 494 followers, whatever. And they are all kind and they all, put comments in my my videos are like, I'm so happy I saw this today, and thank you so much. So I realize that you have to realize that it's not always about you. If you walk into a room and you think someone's looking over at you and laughing at you, maybe they're not laughing at you at all. Maybe they're looking and maybe somebody just told a joke and they just happen to be looking in your direction. If you're talking to somebody and, I don't know, having a conversation with a bunch of people and you see someone take their phone out and start using it, maybe they just got an important text message. You have to learn to start to see things from the other person's perspective, and sometimes it just comes down to whatever you're talking about or saying or doing, that person just may not be interested in. It doesn't mean that you should take it personally. They just may not be into what you're talking about. So that's going to work, right? If you just say, hey, it's not me, it's them. No, that doesn't always work, right? Your kids can kick and scream and have a fit when they don't want to go to bed. And we've all had this as parents. The kids will say, I hate you. I wish I was never born, or whatever. We don't take that personally, right? Because we know that they're just pissed off because they want to go to bed, the little shits. In theory, it's hard for any human to not take things personally or negatively. The average person has 50,000 thoughts a day. And guess what? Only about 10,000 of them are positive. Positive attention towards it takes hard work, and it's very difficult to focus on the other person when you feel hurt, when something hits a core, when you're having a conversation and the person doesn't seem to be paying attention, or they turn around and they make it about them. It's hard to stop and think, why, what are they doing this for? Instead, we just think, do they not give a shit about what the fuck I'm saying? Well, anyways, so when that doesn't work, maybe it's time to take a look in the mirror and say, maybe it is about me, but not about me that they're mad at. Maybe it's about me and my insecurities. Maybe I need to take a look at myself and be honest with myself. And then, if something hits a nerve, I got to give myself a break, give myself some empathy. I can also open up about it. I can talk to people. If I'm having a conversation with somebody and they walk away and they go in the other room and they turn on TV, or they could be already in the other room and they turn on TV, I could say to them, hey, I was talking to you and it really bothers me that you just turned on the TV just then. It hurt my feelings. It makes me think that you don't care about what I'm trying to say to you. You're probably going to get a positive response. That person is probably going to say, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't even know. I thought you were done. How many times have you been telling a story and, somebody will interrupt and you look at them and they'll look at you and they'll say, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I really thought you were done talking. And I bet you they mean that. I bet you in most cases that person meant it. They had something else on their mind that they wanted to talk about. Maybe something you were talking about triggered something for them, and they were waiting for you to finish for them to have their opportunity to speak. So sometimes you do have to look at yourself and say, what's going on with me that I'm taking everything personally? And if something, like I said, really does strike a nerve, maybe I just need to give myself a little bit of a break. Could you imagine if we could all figure out how to do one of those two strategies? Stop blaming other people and look at it from their perspective, or take responsibility for it and look at maybe why you are taking it personally. Look at your own insecurities and figure out what you want to say, figure out what it is that you are going through that's making you take things personally. If we could do that, man, could we create a more positive world? We could communicate so much better with each other. We really could. And you know what? Along the lines, people are going to hurt you. They're going to say bad things. But remember this, no matter what somebody says about you or what they do to try to hurt you, you will never lose your value. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Peace, and I love you.